Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is another Patreon only video about voice codecs in VICIdial. I prepared this video based on the question of one of my Patreon users who has a VICIdial system, a trunk to a trunk provider, and he wants to have a sequence of codecs to be used when he is calling out. So our phone is registered to our VICIdial. He can log into the VICIdial panel as your normal. It can be used I don't know, Zoiper or even your WebRTC client. We can use any codec here, but when the calls wants to go out to our trunk provider, we want to have a special sequence of the voice codecs. Of course, setting these voice codecs are very easy in the VICIdial, so we will go through that. Also, I will teach you how to verify, how to check if you are really using that codec in your system, or how do you know which call leg using which codec. So we will go deep into that part as well. Before I go to the configuration steps, I want to tell you that you need to pay attention that some of these voice codecs has different names. For example, PCMU, G7U, G7MU, or G7ULA, all of them are the same codec. They have just different names. I mean, in the industry or different vendors using different names, but all of them are the same standard and the same name. It's the same about PCMA as well. PCMA means G711A or G711ALA. They are all the same. For example, here, the mistake that our friend has here is that he said, I want to use G7A or PCMA. So both of them are the same. So that's, and in the VICIdial, we name it ALA. So we are using the name ALA. With that said, let's go to our VICIdial and configure our trunk sequence. For this setup, I prepared a VICIdial that I connected to Twilio trunk provider. It can be any provider as they are supporting your codecs. And what do I mean that I will use EULA, ALA, and G729? It means that when I'm sending an offer to my trunk provider, or when I'm actually calling out, first it will check and it will use the EULA if my provider supports. If it doesn't support, it will try ALA, and then it will try G729. Of course, any sequence can be used here. The very first step is to know where we can set this trunk sequence. Of course, our trunks all are defined in the admin carriers. Here I have a trunk to my Twilio. As you can see, this is the only trunk that is active. And this is my Twilio configuration. If you don't know how to, if you want to actually connect to Twilio, then I have a post for it. So, and I want to use this sequence, ALA first, or G711A, then EULA, and then G729. Okay, so this is the sequence, and it's very easy. Just in your account entry in the trunk configuration, you need to disallow all, so we don't allow any codec except these three codecs, and these three codecs will use this sequence. First use ALA, then EULA, and then G729. That's the only thing that you need to configure in the VICIbox 11. If you have VICIbox 10 or VICIbox 9, the G729 is not installed by default. And you need to install G729 as a codec in your system. And how to install the G729, I have a video for it that I will put the link in the description of this post, and you can refer to that, install the G729, and after that everything is as I explained here. But let's see, how can we verify? How can we verify if our system is using, for example, ALA, or then we will change it to EULA or G729, and then we will see how we can verify if this really works. In order to do that, I created the user, I created the campaign, and then I log into my campaign. I have a Zoiper here that is already logged into the campaign. It's like a normal calling in the VICIdial. And what we need to do, we need to SSH to our system. Let me make it bigger. We need to SSH to our system and connect to the asterisk console. In order to do that, we can type *R, and then you can put some V here to have higher verbosity. and then type the command zip show channels. If you type the command zip show channels in the Asterisk console, you will see that we have a channel here active, and it's using a EULA. It's using EULA. And this channel is between our VICIdial and our extension 555, our Zoiper that is 555. So between the phone and our VICIdial is using EULA, but we want to use codec EILA as per our sequence that we have just configured in our trunk. So when I'm calling out, I want the system to use EILA codec based on my sequence. Let's give it a try. In order to do that, I will dial a testing number. This number will just play a number. So I will call this number, and while I'm in the call, I need to run the command again. So I'm running zip show channels, and now you can see the second channel that is between my server and the trunk provider is using EILA codec, that is Twilio. So this is the first method that you can verify if you are really using the codec that you want or not. And let's hang up this call. So the first method was using the zip show channels, and you can see that was using EILA codec. The second method that is actually more accurate, especially if you have multiple options and if the other trunk provider forces you to use another codec based on this sequence, is using the sngrep command. If you run sngrep, you can see all the zip packets and also the RTP stream. So I just run sngrep, click dial your number. Let's dial the number. You can see this is our invite that we are in the call, enter, and then you can see here the RTP and SDP. You can type F2 to see the RTP, to see the SDP, and you need to press twice, and you can see what codec we have offered. Or you can type F3 to see the actual RTP or the actual voice, and you can see it is using G711 EILA for our trunk. So this is what we offer, and this is what the voice codec is using. And as you can see, this is PCMA. That's what I'm saying. The EILA and the PCMA are the same. So this is how we set a codec in our trunk and how we verify that. That's it. Let's now change the codec, maybe set to EULA, and then try again. Let's see if this is changed from G7A to, I don't know, G7U or not. In order to do that, we need to go to our admin panel to the carriers, and this was the sequence. We first used EILA, and then we offered EULA. So let's change this one. Let's now, we just want to send the EULA and then EILA. And you need to submit. So first we will use EULA and then EILA and then, for example, G729. This is what we offer first, or what we offer next, or what we offer third. Pay attention. When you submit here in the VICIdial, you need to be patient. You at least wait 1 or 2 minutes, because how the VICIdial is working is that it has a cron jobs that it reads the configuration and it reloads the asterisk. So you need to be patient, because if you test immediately, it won't work. Let's go back and test. We need to make another call, but before that, let's exit from the sngrep. You can exit by entering Ctrl+C. Let's run again sngrep, make our call. I'm calling to the same number, and let's check the invite right now. You can press F2 to see the codec. As you can see, we are using now G7U or EULA, and the RTP is in the G7U format or EULA format, and this is PCMU. So that's it. This is how we actually test or verify. Of course, you can use the zip show channels, the other method as well, but this is a more accurate method, because sometimes you offer something, but the other party offers you with another codec, and because you are supporting it, it will switch to that codec. So this is the most accurate way that you can see what codec you are really using when you are calling to a trunk provider. That's it. Thank you for watching and thank you for supporting my channel. If you have any questions, you can put into the comments here, or you can message me in the Patreon, and then I try to make a video, or I try to have a post or talk about it. Thank you, and see you in the next video.